The ball's mass is 0.5 kilogram and is dropped from 3.5 meters above the ground. In trial 1, it took the ball 0.66 seconds to reach the ground. The potential energy of the ball is 17.5 joules. The kinetic energy is 2.1 joules. The speed of the ball before it reached the ground was 8.4 meters per second. On the other hand, in trial 2, the ball took 0.68 seconds because there was more air resistance than in trial 1. The average velocity of the ball is 5.15 meters per second because we calculated displacement over time. In trial 3, the ball took 0.53 seconds because there was less air resistance than in trial 1 and 2.
مس تعرفي عن الفيزيكس؟
معرفش عنها حاجة ما درستهاش.
طب انتي مس نسمة.
We tried to do the same experiment, however, with two different balls. The first ball mass is 0.5 kilograms. On the other hand, the other ball is 0.25 kilograms. In trial 1, the small ball reached the ground before the big ball because the air resistance is low. The small ball has a potential energy of 8.75 joules and its kinetic energy is 2.5 joules. In trial 2, the large ball reached the ground before the small ball did, and that happened because there was more air resistance.
US, you just lay down slow. Recognize a little dog when you see one. Sipping on booze in the house of blues. It's the
In trial 3, there was a very small difference between both balls because there was nearly no air resistance.
Physics.
And physics هي gravity والvelocity والtypes of energy كده يعني.
طب وهي ايه types of energy؟
potential وkinetic وelastic inelastic energy.
What types of energy do I know? I know kinetic and potential, and that's it. That's all the energy that I know.
In this experiment of friction, the ball on the grass stopped in less time and displacement because there is more friction, and that applies to Newton's first law of motion. That states that an object in motion remains in motion unless a force is acted on it.
What do you know about physics?
Velocity, displacement, work, energy, Newton's law.
طبيعة. Nature.
بس.
That's all.
When he tried to move the car, there was a small amount of force applied on the car, but there was no work done because the car didn't move. When the others joined him, they had greater force, so they moved the car much easier and work was done.
You see me happy work. You see me do me dirt. There's something about that work. When you walk a line. I'm in the cafe, my drive me a dessert.
The difference between force and power.
Force and power. That's a great question. Force, makes me feel about like military forces exerting force, and then power is like the leader behind it, like the head honcho behind the force. That's what I feel about force and power.
What you're seeing right now are balanced forces that resulted in neither team's winning. But now the left team has won because the forces are unbalanced.
Everybody get up!
projectile motion happens because the moving object is not self-powered. For such an object, the horizontal speed is not changing with the time, whereas the vertical speed is changing due to the gravitational pull, and that is what makes the ball reach a specific height and then is pulled down again.
والله انا فاكر الفيزيك من 8 سنين كان عباره عن معادلات وحاجات تجارب تعمليها وتستنتجي التجربه دي بناء على ايه واتعملت ازاي واللي تستفادي منه والحاجه دي تفيد ايه بلدك وتفيد ايه نفسك. بالنسبه للرياضه انا مش والله ما عارف ممكن انا عارف الفسيولوجي في الجسم الانسان بيساعد الرياضه، غير كده مش عارف. والله كله بيعمل مسلمين على مستر محمد كتير قوي.
Inertia is the tendency of objects to keep moving in a straight line, and that's why people in the car kept moving forward after the brakes were applied and the car stopped.
The bowling ball and the feather from the same height and time, which will hit the ground first and dry.
A bowling ball and a what?
And the feather.
Ah. They would hit the same time except if the feather got caught in a draft and started floating. Then the bowling ball.
This car had more force and less mass, so its acceleration was greater than that of the other car. This car had more mass and less force, so it has less acceleration. The car on the left, which had greater acceleration, reached a higher speed than the other car did.
عن الفيزياء.
الفيزياء هي قواعد من نيوتن وبعدين مخلوقات والرياضة التطبيقية. الرياضة التطبيقية دي ممكن نقيس سرعة ازاي نقيس سرعة العربية وهي ماشية.
So what do you know about physics?
Newton law and power, energy, and displacement.
What do you know about physics?
Velocity, mechanics, motors.